Hopefully everybody got hopefully everybody got a chance to scan our QR code to take part in that quick survey. All right, just a little bit about myself. My name is Edna Bennett. I've been in education since graduating from Bermuda College in 2002, and I have earned a degree at Kennesaw State and Georgia Southern University. My focus is on curriculum and instructional tech integration. I currently teach the 7th grade social studies class, advanced and gifted class at Betty Gray Middle School. Um, it's a brand new middle school. It was formerly Lindley 6th Grade Academy, located in Cobb County, in the Cobb County School District.
Hey everyone, I am Bailey Messick. I graduated from Georgia Southern University with a bachelor's in elementary education in 2018. I went on to receive my master's in curriculum and instruction in 2022, and I'll be graduating with my EDS in instructional technology in May, making me a triple eagle. Ooh, love that. I currently teach fourth grade ELA in Jefferson County, primarily focusing on writing instruction as I share reading comprehension with another teacher. And I have 6 years of teaching experience.
And hello, everyone. My name is Valencia Mays. I graduated from Albany State in 2015. I obtained my middle grade certification, 4th through 8th, via TAP program. Graduated from Berry College with the Master's of Education in Curriculum and Instruction, and will be graduating from Georgia Southern University with the Ed Specialist in Instructional Technology and a Tier 1 certification in 2025. I am currently a EIP reading teacher at Sue Reynolds Elementary School here in Augusta, Georgia, and I have 7 years teaching experience.
All right, so just a brief overview of the project. We focused on how technology can enhance writing instruction. We looked at tools that promote collaboration, explore strategies for implementation, and address the real-world challenges that teachers face when integrating these tools in our classroom. And this is just a more lengthy list of what I just talked about. All right, so why is writing crucial? I'm sorry, why is writing instruction crucial? So writing is foundational to student success, not just in ELA, but across content areas. It supports communication, creativity, and digital literacy. It also prepares students for real-world tasks. So here's a list of some of those examples of why writing is important for students, especially at the elementary level, to create that foundation that they need for middle, high school, and beyond. Okay. So what is the role of technology in writing? Technology makes writing more engaging for students. Students benefit from brainstorming apps, grammar checkers, and platforms that allow for publishing and collaboration. So these tools promote equity and accessibility. Technology also helps students through all stages of the writing process, and I've put those stages there. Pre-writing, one of the brainstorm apps that students can use is Padlet. Also with their drafting and revision process, Google Docs is a great tool for students to use because it provides real-time edits and feedback. And for students to edit, they can use grammar tools like Grammarly or Microsoft Editor. And also when they're publishing, there are many different blogs out there, multimedia presentations, or even ebooks that are available to students right now. All right, so this QR code is asking us what are some of the writing tools that you as teachers use in your classroom. So just go ahead and scan the QR code and just, I'll be looking at that poll and maybe talking about it at the end. All right, so why do we need technology? So research shows that most elementary students aren't meeting writing benchmarks. So according to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, NAEP, middle and high school students are not performing at or above the proficient level, which is what you are seeing on screen. According to this study, 27% of 8th grade students performed at or above the proficient level, and only 24% of students at the 12th grade level performed at or above the proficient level. So this is a result of not being prepared at the elementary school level. So this is what we are professing, that technology is needed to help these students read and write on grade level, instead of having students read and write on their reading level, which is what we tend to do as teachers in the classroom. And here's a list of some of the common challenges that students face when writing. Students have difficulty organizing their ideas. They lack confidence, and also limited vocabulary if they don't have access to that technology. Also, grammar, I said it already, grammar and spelling, weak sentence structure, lack of confidence, I said it already, difficulty with writing prompts, attention and focus issues, struggles with revision and editing, and sometimes handwriting and fine motor skills. And we see that a lot in the classroom. Limited exposure to quality writing is also one. So finally, let me just go over. So just to introduce Grammarly and Storybird. So from Grammarly to Storybird, technology provides support for every stage of the writing process. Those are just two examples, and these tools build student confidence, provides immediate feedback, and support those fine motor skills that students need. Further in our presentation, we will be looking at some of these tools that help students in the writing process.
So based on our own research throughout this project, we have found that there are 5 common themes that arise when incorporating technology into writing instruction. Studies show that students who use word processing tools and interactive platforms show higher levels of writing achievement overall, respond to constructive feedback and better receive prompt feedback from peers, obtain improved revising and refining skills. They make growth in English processing skills as ESL or low achieving students, and they experience writing instruction in a more resilient, open, and inclusive fashion. To further this point, a study conducted by Westby and Lee in 2021 investigated the results of digital storytelling. They found that there is a clear positive correlation between the facilitation of technology-enhanced writing and student engagement, while also showing that students show a 20% increase in writing fluency overall and a 15% improvement in grammatical accuracy. So, all of this to say that digital storytelling, collaborative writing, and gamified writing platforms lead to an overall enhanced student engagement and motivation in writing as a whole. So, 8 well-loved, effective digital tools in writing instruction are shown here. The first is Google Docs. My school is a Google-based school, so we use Google Classroom, Google Docs a lot. And Google Docs is really good for collaborative writing and peer feedback, as well as the teacher being able to give specific feedback. Grammarly gives students instant feedback on grammar and style. Then we have Storybird, which is digital storytelling, and students are able to create a digital picture book. Padlet, students can do interactive discussion, as we all know from our discussions in this course, and oral storytelling. I used to use Flipgrid. Flipgrid's sadly a thing of the past, so Padlet is a good alternative for that. Then you have Pobble and the Literacy Shed. Both of those are creative writing prompts. Pobble focuses on daily images that provoke thought, and the Literacy Shed has short films. Then there are Night Zookeeper and We Will Write, which are gamified writing practices. Night Zookeeper is more of an epic style game like Prodigy. And we saw a little bit of We Will Write last night from Becca and Ashley, but I wanted to show a little more of a peek inside because my fourth graders really love it, and I've seen huge improvements in their writing since introducing them to it. So, We Will Write has a classroom simulator option that you can use to see how it works. So I invite you all to go take a look at it on your own time and play around with it. But here's a little bit of a snippet of what to expect. On the left is the classroom screen, and on the right is what the students would see on their screen. So students log in just like Blooket or Kahoot using a class code, and they're automatically placed into randomized teams. In this case, it's the Tigers, Giraffes, and Bears. Students will see a prompt, and the teacher can discuss it for a couple of minutes to spark some ideas or continue whenever she's ready. Students can respond to the prompt as you see on the student screen. As they type, teams will acquire points based on the word count, and you can see the point meter on the classroom screen. If a student gets stuck, they have hints that they can refer to on the side of their little text box. And you'll see the mouse clicking on the hints. So there are just some little thought-provoking elements of that as well. Once they are done, students have the chance to self-assess, which I feel is so important to constant improvement. Then they can see other answers from their team to analyze and take a vote on which is the most imaginative. The teacher can take time to discuss what is expected to guide students' votes. And then, looks like it's lagging. Then students can have the chance to vote on the best answer from another team that's not theirs. The teacher can read these aloud and provide feedback or facilitate discussion on this. And then the winning team or all the teams get points based on how many votes that they have, which you'll see the student voting now. And then the points will be acquired. And then it's time for another prompt. So my students really love this because they're so competitive at this age group. And I love it because they're actually eager to write, which is something that students don't love. So it's good for that.
Okay, so now that we have talked about why we have chosen technology in writing and using it in the classroom, and you have saw a real life example of using one of the tech tools. The next question is, how do we implement, and how does this implementation enhance student engagement? So the research says that technology enhances student engagement by allowing differentiated instruction, and it allows teachers to tailor feedback with writing tasks and make sure that they are accompanied to the students' needs. Tools like Padlet and Grammarly show support in language and through scaffolding. And combining tools like Padlet, Google Docs, and Grammarly enhances students' confidence in their writing abilities. Other ways that students can grow in their student engagement is through interactive learning, personalized learning, increased collaboration and communication, progress monitoring, and increased accessibility. Here are some strategies that are used for successful integration in the classroom as it relates to integrating writing tools through technology. Keep it simple and purposeful. Using one to two tools consistently helps students to grasp what they're doing so that they can use it with fidelity. Making sure that the tech tools used is connected to the learning goals in the classroom. Using interactive and visual tools. Teach digital skills gradually. Keep the session short and engaging. using short activities with clear instructions, model and practice digital citizenship, and celebrate their progress. So, what are some of the potential obstacles in integrating technology? Of course, there is some people that deal with limited tech familiarity. Sorry, younger students and some teachers may lack experience with digital writing tools. Developmental readiness. Elementary students may struggle with typing, navigating apps, or even understanding digital interfaces. There are some training gaps. Teachers may not receive adequate support or training to use those writing tools. Technical issues such as software glitches, login problems, and hardware failures can disrupt lessons and overall classroom management. Just monitoring your students, making sure that they are doing what they're supposed to do. How can we overcome these barriers? So you can pair inexperienced teachers with tech-savvy mentors. Professional learning should be ongoing and tailored to the writing instruction goals. Schools can provide shared devices or downloadable assignments, and engaging students as tech mentors or digital tool leaders helps to support peer learning and building a supportive community. What is the role of teacher training? So teacher training is very important because without the teacher being properly trained on how to use the tech tools, it doesn't matter what you provide to the students, because if the teacher doesn't know, then the student doesn't know. So effective integration relies on ongoing, hands-on professional development that is grounded in pedagogical practice rather than just using the tools. So as stated before, this consists of professional training being tailored to the writing goals, pairing teachers with tech mentors, teachers having time to reflect on best practices, not just using the tools, but being able to go back and say, okay, well, this worked for my student and this did not. Training should promote a balance of tech fluency and subject expertise. So wrapping it up, our summary of our key findings, we all know that it is very challenging to get students to write. Students struggle with organizing their ideas, grammar, vocabulary, and maintaining motivation. Technology is a great solution to this challenge because tools such as Google Docs, Grammarly, and Storyboard improve the engagement and support all stages of the writing process. Increased engagement and confidence, students will be more motivated when the writing is interactive. Accessibility and differentiation is using these tech tools. So you have features like text to speech, personalized feedback, and the need for teacher support is very important during this, because effective use of writing technology depends on ongoing teacher training and support. So the importance of continued improvement of writing and instruction, just to name a few, for the students, it is a consistent practice of lifelong skills, improved perspective of sometimes controversial topics, well-developed communication skills, and they learn relevant learning for real-life application. For the educator, targeted professional development, increased knowledge on perfecting their craft, teaching students with relevant materials, and an emphasis on lifelong learning as a model for students. And the future recommendations for incorporating this technology in writing education is to continuously teach digital responsibility, knowing that you have to be safe using the internet, subject-based writing tools, and encouraging writing in all subject areas, not just ELA, but math, science, and so forth. Mind mapping tools, helping young writers to plan stories and to organize their ideas, write for real audiences. There may come a time where you may get into the VR of things, and students can write to pen pals, they can create class blogs, as long as it's safe within digital responsibility. And multimedia projects. Let kids make video stories, slideshows, and or comic strips, just to name a few.
So, just a few real life testimonials. We interviewed some elementary students to see their perspectives on technologically enhanced writing. And here are some of the responses. So, one child said, I prefer using my Chromebook for writing because it helps me see my writing and what I need to fix, which I teach them from the beginning of the year. Typing it is easier to edit any time. So, I think they like that. I prefer to type my essays and narrative stories. I can practice my typing for the milestones. I even get better at typing on my computer at home. And another student said, I like using We Will Write because it is fun. I try to get better at writing and I like to see how I do and how my friends do. So this was the overall consensus that my fourth graders have positive outlooks on technology in writing. We also interviewed some members of administration, and here are just two of their thoughts. An elementary school principal stated, I believe that using technology to enhance writing instruction is beneficial to students because it is preparing them for the society that we are living in and will be living in. I have seen improvements in my own third graders' writing skills since my teachers have moved into more technologically infused writing instruction. And then an assistant principal who is a former fifth grade writing teacher said, I think using the Chromebooks to assist with writing instruction makes a typically boring content more engaging for students. They are able to apply their knowledge in ways that they will need out in the real world, which is the ultimate goal of education. So overall, technology in writing is well received, and the students automatically are more engaged with it as well.
Alrighty, so we are going to end there. If you want to keep in touch with us, here are our emails at the bottom. We put out a survey, but if you have any specific questions, feel free to unmute now, or you can type something in the chat box so that we know how to respond. If not, I'm going to leave it open for questions, but if not, thank you for listening to our presentation today. We are so appreciative.
Thank you so much. This was great. And you used the literature well to support your findings. I really like the quotes from the students as well. So it gave us an idea about how the writing tools are perceived in the classroom from different perspectives, from the administrative side as well as students. And my question is for each of you. So if each of you could go ahead and share your perspective on, because you all have years and years of experience in the field, where do you see the most benefits of using such tools happening in the class? But where do you leverage these tools when helping students write?
Just for me, I focus my instruction in ELA on writing. So writing at the beginning of the year was a huge challenge for my students, and it is every year. Because they come from third grade being the first time that they ever take a standardized test. So it's really, really pushed in third grade a lot. And then so in my fourth grade, they have negative outlooks toward writing and they don't want to engage in it. So from boosting their motivation using the technologically enhanced writing, that's where I see the most benefit, because if I can have them receptive in the writing, then they'll absorb the content more than if they're automatically checked out and not engaged. So that's how I leverage it in my classroom.
For me, I think the most issue that students have for me in social studies is organizing their writing. We do a lot of comparing and contrasting, and just for them to organize is my issue. So I think technology will help them with their organization as far as that.
And just to piggyback a tad, this year is a tad bit different for me, but last year I did teach fourth grade ELA and social studies. So I will say, when they do come from third grade, is some of those writing skills are non-existent. So we're starting with a blank slate. So I think it's important to start these tech tools from the beginning of the year so that students are able to, organize their ideas as well as put it in writing, put it in on paper. It is all about baby steps. That's how I think about writing. I think of it as baby steps, but with these tech tools, we have the baby steps, but we're making it a little more interactive for them so that they know that, oh, writing is fun. Oh, I can do this. And just getting those thoughts out of their heads and putting it on paper.
Thank you so much. Yeah, these are valuable ideas and perspectives.
And I'm just reading the chat box. Amber and Bobby, one other resource that I just thought about that I use in my classroom is Pixton, and I'll put it in the chat, but Pixton is a digital comic strip maker, and my students love using that too for their narrative writing as well. So I'm just going to include that in the chat just so you can kind of refer back to that as well.
I have a question. Did I miss something? Did you share both of the polls that you did?
No, we didn't share it yet. We were scared that we were going to run out of time, so we didn't share it yet. But I can share the poll.
If we could get it done in like 2 minutes, yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me put I got too many things going on my screen. So for the second, Bailey, you want to share the first poll first, and I'll share the second one?
I can.
If not, it's okay. You went to the trouble and
Well, I have it up, so I could go. The one that I'm looking at are what are some of the writing tools that you use in your classroom. I have Newsela, Brisk, Grammarly, this says Google mostly, Beanstack, I don't know that one. Is this Bookright, I think? So those are some of what responses that were in the poll.
And this one, I've shared my screen. I think you can see it. Is the word cloud from the opening one asking teachers to use one word to describe the biggest challenge you face with writing instruction. We had 6 responses and all of them were different, but we had plagiarism, grading, time, patience, differentiation, and teaching it. So hopefully some of these tools that we shared can help with the definitely the patience thing, because I had a lot of thin patience when I was trying to motivate my students because they were just very hesitant. So hopefully some of the motivation can help with that. And actually teaching it, it makes it more fun for me to teach too when my students are into it. So hopefully that is helpful. Are there any other questions?
All right. Hope y'all have a great night and look forward to the next presentation.